Dennis, there's so many names in the avionics industry that are known to everybody because they do things that we see every day. However, there's some folks that work behind the scenes and across so many levels and so many airframes and so many product lines. And that kind of describes Sandia in so many ways.
Right.
I've known you guys for years, but at the same time, I'm amazed. I look at this airplane and that airplane, and sooner or later, yeah, there's something in there that you built. Tell me what Sandia Aerospace is.
Well, we're an avionics manufacturer that primarily designs and manufactures support equipment. That has been our past. We do things like encoders for your transponders and GPS navigators. We do fans to keep your avionics cool. Every piece of avionics in that stack has a lot more computing power than you have at your desk. Mm-hmm. And we pack it into a very tight area, so we need to move that heat out. We also make switching units, relay switching units. There's a lot of switching in an airplane, a lot of signals that have to be switched, so we design that equipment. We also have Airdata computers, really designed for the light GA aircraft. A lot of it designed around the Garmin 430, 530 that can give you a lot of capabilities and a lot of visibility to the features that Garmin designed in that are not readily available without an Airdata computer.
Now, how was this all started? I mean, the last thing somebody thinks of is, today I'm going to start an avionics company instead of the really cool whiz bangs that are in the panel. Go out and do and make your bread and butter out of cooling fans and ADCs and so forth. It's kind of a unique niche.
Well, it is. It actually started out, I was working with another company. We actually started out by buying the Hoskins fuel flow line, mm-hmm. which we have sold to Instrument Tech in Addison, Texas. And then acquired a line of cooling fans and a line of switches. And it was a good product. I'd always been involved in things on the panel, but this was a new product. It was easy to get into. We could work with a dealer network, so we didn't have to put quite as much marketing cost into it because we knew the dealer network extremely well. We knew what they needed. Mm-hmm. And so we designed that. And we also designed products specifically for airframe manufacturers and other avionics manufacturers too.
Now, how long has Sandia been around?
We incorporated in 1997, so we've been here now for 13 years.
Freedom through innovation. It's what led us to develop Cirrus Flying 2.0, the framework for a bold new take on private aviation. And as a result, the gap between the aircraft we produce and those of our competitors continues to widen. Cirrus knows where the personal aircraft industry is headed. We're already there.
The industry as it stands right now, there's a number of major players, and then there's these really quality little companies that are always out there. I go to an AEA, and while some of the big names may change and this disappears and that disappears, there are these names that are always out there, and Sandia is one of them. How do you stay alive in a business that is as ultra competitive, occasionally vicious, and boy, the lack of innovation will kill you in a heartbeat?
We're a small company, but we do a lot of innovation. We have a lot of engineers here. We do all of our design work. We understand DO-160 certification, DO-178 certification very well. We talk to pilots. I am a pilot. We talk to the shops on what their needs are and other manufacturers. I guess in a way blessed. I've been in this industry for over 40 years and know an awful lot of the key players and worked with a lot of them. They've all given us opportunities to perform. Now, they've given us the opportunity, but we do have to perform, and I think we've done it very well. We offer great warranties on our products. When we go in to design our product that goes under the panel, a lot of these are fairly low-cost products. You can't afford a failure, especially for your dealers, because if they put a product in and there's a failure, or if it has to come back, they've lost any profit they may have made off of it. So our basic premise is ours has to be bulletproof, and we do an awful lot of testing to ensure that it is.
Being in the support area, you're working across a number of standards, a number of certification regimes, and of course, you're shipping all over the world.
Right.
I would imagine the engineering/certification aspects of what you do, despite the small stature and the behind-the-scenes aspect, that's got to be killer.
It is, and it gets harder. I mean, DO-178 gets more onerous all the time. And But we keep up with it and we do it, and that's the price of admission into this industry. You have to do it and you have to do it right. So we can do a lot of our own DO-160 testing in-house. We have a lot of that equipment that we've invested in over the years. We have people that have worked in DO-178. We have almost 30 years experience in DO-178.
I've also noticed you've been very active politically within the industry, especially your involvement with AEA and so forth.
That's correct.
So rather than just kind of doing everything just for Sandia, you're kind of spreading the wealth around a little bit.
You know, this industry's done a lot for me. You know, I've lived my life in it, and you got to pay back. You know, one of the things, I lived in Ohio for a long time, and one of my heroes is Woody Hayes, and he always had a statement years back is, you can never pay back, but you have to pay forward. Mm-hmm. And I think to give back to the industry by helping the next generation, I think that's very important to do, and I think it is a responsibility of the people who've been around for a while.
And working with AEA, of course, is kind of interesting because we've been kind of evaluating the roles of the associations in a number of regards, and while it's certainly not the biggest and it's certainly not the most notable, possibly one of the best run associations in all of aviation is AEA. They really are quite stunning.
Got a great staff. I mean, we just absolutely have a great staff. It's well supported by the avionics industry. I can't say enough about them. Mm-hmm. And they do a wonderful job. I mean, they're really dedicated to it and to serving the community. It's one of the very few places where competitors can come together for everybody's good.
The beauty of the Release 9 system architecture is that you have two fully redundant integrated flight displays. Each has access to all the systems and data. Providing full redundancy and eliminating traditional reversionary modes, Release 9 allows either display to be configured as the PFD. Now your failure modes are much more manageable because you can continue to fly with the same familiar display symbology without the need to relearn composite modes you don't typically fly with. Avidyne's Integra Release 9 is truly the next generation in fully integrated flight deck technology.
The entire industry is going through a down period. You and I talked about this privately. Now, the best part about a small company is you can run lean and mean without a whole lot of change, and you're obviously in a better position to survive the economic doldrums than most. But you're also ready, apparently, moment's notice to pick up and be ready if things improve. How agile is Sandia in this economy?
Well, we are fairly agile and we get profitable, but you lose your future. And so...
How so? Well, that's an interesting thought.
New products. One of the things you want to do is you want to do new products. Now is a good time to come out with new ones. We have currently 3 new products in development, and that is your future. Without the engineers, we're not going to have those products. We probably put somewhere between 60 to 70% of our operational cost into our engineering department. You can eliminate that fairly quick, but again, that would delay products. Mm-hmm. And I really believe in the future, and it is coming back. And we want to be prepared to do it. That's what Ed King taught me when I worked for him.
And of course, ultimately with that company, by not being innovative down the line, look what happened.
That's right.
At some point, somebody innovative and new and upstart comes out and eats your lunch.
There's always somebody ready to do it. If there is a gap, somebody will fill it.
Oh boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's great.
I realize this is a fairly tough question, but when you're looking for a new product, what is it that defines, we got to do this to a company like yours?
When we started Sandia Aerospace, my first product was going to be an encoder and a transponder because I saw a great need for it back then. We kind of got delayed 13 years. We did the encoder fairly quick, but as far as the transponder, about 13 years, which we will have first quarter this coming year. But we did do RF development, a lot of RF development, and we did it for transponders for other companies. And we're very good at that. We were given a spec by one company that we exceeded the specification for power output, and we came in under budget, under schedule. Again, being small and lean, you can do those things. All right, so we look at need. I listen to people. Like, as I say, I'm a pilot, so I see what those needs are. A lot of experience in product. And what is there, what isn't there, and where the niches are. We're a niche player. We are never going to be the Garmin of the world, but we're going to be a niche player.
What's the future for Sandia? Where do you go from here?
Our future, again, we have a couple products coming out. We have a new transponder, which will be deliverable in February. We have another product we're developing for another avionics manufacturer that will be, again, deliverable probably in January to February, depending upon their schedule. And we're working on ADS-B solutions. And we have just developed one for a helicopter operator in which we do an interface between the Garmin 430, 530 WASP receivers and the Collins TDR94D transponder for Mode S output. We're also developing, and as you're probably aware of, we're partially funded by ITT to develop low-cost UAT, which we expect to have out in anywhere from 12 to 18 months.
Sounds like you got a lot on your plate,
We have a lot on our plate right now.
which in
And-
2010, that ain't so bad.
It's not bad. It's a great place to be. We're really excited about it, and we think the future is very bright.